I do anything, I add some olive oil to my boiling water. Just a couple drops, not a lot, just to keep the noodles from sticking. I always use the Kraft Deluxe macaroni and cheese. And I use this one because it comes with a pack of Velveeta inside, and it instantly gives you 3 cheeses, the 2 that I have plus this 3rd one. So I'm gonna pour this in here and let it come to a boil. Take your spoon, plastic spoon or a wooden spoon, and stir just to make sure that the noodles do not stick together. And I always take a little bit of salt and add it to my noodles. I add salt later just because it does need it, but I like to add a little bit now as well. Okay, so after you boil your noodles, you drain them, drain all the water off, and return them back to the original pot. Then you add the cheese packet that came with it. This cheese is very similar to Velveeta to me. I like it because it's smooth and creamy, and it just adds an extra layer of creamy texture to the macaroni and cheese. So combine the cheese with the macaroni. About in between a half a stick and a quarter stick of either margarine or butter, and there. Okay. And stir. Now what I do is I pour my milk in the measuring cup, and after I pour the milk in the measuring cup, I add the egg. So I'd say we start off with about a cup of milk, about 1 cup, just to start. I usually end up adding more as I go. About a cup of milk. Oh, let's not forget the egg. The egg. And I take the egg and the milk and I beat it. Make sure that you turn the fire off, because we don't want the macaroni to continue to cook. After you beat the egg well into the milk, just pour it in and stir. And I usually stir it and I just let it sit for just a couple seconds, just so that you can allow the milk to absorb into the holes of the noodles. And because once you allow the milk to absorb into the holes of the noodles, then you can pretty much tell whether or not you need more. This is very milky, creamy. It doesn't need any more milk, so we're done with the milk. I do use a little bit of pepper, not a lot, just I would say about maybe a pinch or two. I do at this time add some more salt because the salt that I added when I boiled the noodles, it wasn't very much and it doesn't really stick to the noodles, but this will. And this is your last opportunity to add salt. So I would say about a teaspoon of salt. Not too much, just because the cheese has salt, and so you don't want it to be too salty once you combined everything and place it in the oven. Now, we take our pan. I'm just going to use this one because I don't want to make a whole lot today. And what I do is I layer everything. So I start with the macaroni and I pour it in, and I start with the cheese and I just start laying it like this. I'm not stingy with my cheese. It's called macaroni and cheese for a reason. So I do layer it pretty well. Look at that. Look. So it's time to put it in the oven. I've preheated the oven to 350 degrees. I'm just gonna pop this in here. And then we'll check on it again in about 10 minutes. And I'll get back to you guys as soon as it's done. Okay, so it's finally done. I let it cool for about 15-20 minutes. So now we're just gonna dig in. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Try it. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoy.